Hi everyone, it's Robert Earl again out here in far west Texas at the Eco Ranch. Got another project I'm going to go over with you, show you what we've done. I've done one video on the DC generator, which is right here in front of me, but my friends at Thermodyne and I have been tweaking it ever since then, and they suggested to me that I show you just how difficult it is to tweak one of these to get it to work properly once you've actually built it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over again for people that are just watching this for the very first time and didn't see number one. I'm going to go over the DC generator, how we put it together. I've added something to it that was very important, and then what we're going to do is swap out a couple of PMAs and some pulleys and do some calculations and see how the thing runs. So let's move on. Okay, well, this is a DC generator that I designed. I did not build it, though. I did have a fellow here in Terlingua who's a great welder and great fabricator put this together for me. You'll notice that this is portable. It's on a cart that has a 900-pound capacity, and the sides come up, and actually the sides come up and give you a real good guard over the belt. Which was a nice benefit. I didn't care about the sides, but the having them as a guard came in handy. So here's what we've done for my purposes here. Okay, number one, it's plugged into the house. Now the house, this here is my emergency plug for the house. If something happens with the solar panels and the wind turbines where we can't get enough power, then we have the ability to plug the DC generator into this, and also to plug the truck into this. Pan over to the truck. There's the back end of the truck. I'm going to do a video on the truck soon as well, because it's got some really cool features that I've added to it. But the truck has a 260 amp alternator on it. It also has one of these plugs in the front that you just simply drive the truck up here, plug it in, and it will charge the system somewhat. It doesn't do as good a job as the DC generator does. So, here's the components of the DC generator. A Duramax 17 horsepower engine. It's electric start. It is a gas engine. I opted for gas because I did have trouble with the Carroll Stream diesel engine. And that kind of put me off on diesels for the moment. Okay, over here we have our control panel. This was a fuse that did not work for me, so I'm leaving it there because there's holes if I take it out. Tachometer and a voltmeter. Now, what we've added to it, if you saw the first video, what I've added to it is this fuse box. We need a fuse in line here. So what I did, I buy everything from Square D Home Line. This is a 90 amp fuse. Turn it and it energizes the system. See, the voltage meter came on. You turn it off and you're running open circuit. I've mounted it to the cart. It's just a great way to turn it on and off, as well as to make sure that we don't have any problems. Coming off the back of the PMA, I have two wires that go into each leg of the dual throw fuse, and then I've just simply split this 4-0 wire here going into the bottom half. Now over here, what we have, this is new. This is a QC1212 PMA from Thermodyne. It is their best PMA that they sell for these purposes, and I've been cautioned 100 times that not to exceed 2,000 RPMs. It's got to run at a low RPMs. And he wanted me to test this one to see if I liked it better than my original one, which I'll show you in a moment. Another thing we did, if you saw the original, is I lengthened this cord here. I was having trouble finding belts because I only had about an inch of throw, inch and a half of throw. This gives me more throw, so I can use all the belts I have. Change the pulley. This is a 4-inch pulley now, so we're running a 4-inch pulley on a 3-inch pulley, 4-inch pulley on the engine, 3-inch pulley on the PMA, and of course it's electric start. The PMA comes from Thermodyne, as I said, Square D for the fuses, and the engine is a Duramax engine. So here's real quick, you get Duramax engine from Max Tools. And that will, they've changed their name from Max Tools, but it redirects you. But Max Tools sells me these. Great people to deal with, like Thermodyne. Of course, Square D products are everywhere. I get them from Lowe's, but you can certainly get them from any home store. And of course, the PMAs come from Thermodyne. And the belts come from Napa. We've got some excellent people working at the Napa store in Alpine, Texas. They have been extremely helpful to me through this whole thing. Here's my assortment of pulleys. And here's my original PMA. This is a PC 1212 from Thermodyne. And again, Thermodyne's website is hydrogenappliances.com. But since we were going to tweak this a little bit, we took the opportunity to send it back to Bob at Thermodyne, and he just super epoxied these magnets in here because this thing is going to spin at a high RPM. So let's put this thing back on a tripod, fire it up, and get a look at what's going on. Start it up. Choke the engine. It's set it idle. Here we go. About 1,000 RPMs right now. I'm going to go ahead and engage the fuse. Let's see what happens. Oh, I should say, it's putting out 34.7 volts right now. Up to 15.7. I've turned it back to an idle. It still is putting out 15, but I should say that my system is fully charged in there, and actually the dumps are working overtime trying to dump that excess power. It actually needs a little bit more RPMs, but I mainly want to see how it operates under load. Now what I'm going to do is turn it off and switch pulleys and PMAs at this point. We'll go back to the PC, back to a bigger pulley. Okay, I'm back. Now, I should tell you that I was unable to put the 9-inch pulley on. The 9-inch pulley was just so big that I no longer have a belt that can fit it. I thought I did, but I don't. But my experience with a 9-inch pulley was that no matter what I did, it was still like trying to start a car off in 5th gear. It just lugged it right down to nothing. So what I've done is I've put the PC 1212 on, which is a higher RPM PMA. A lot of initials there, alphabet soup. But it's a higher RPM alternator. I put the 6-inch pulley on, and the 1212 has a 2-inch pulley on it. So we're going to go with the 2-inch pulley to the 6. That's a 3 to 1 ratio. And I'm going to, when I start it up, I'm going to run it up to 1,000 RPMs, and then I'm going to throw the power switch. So here we go. I'm not going to pause this. We'll just start her up and see what happens. To 1,000 RPMs because I'm at 38 volts right now. I'm just going to throw the switch. Okay, that's what I thought was going to happen. So we're going to restart it, run the RPMs up, and then turn it on. I don't think I should do that because it was 55.5 amps right there at 930, or watts rather, 55.5 volts at 930 RPMs. I don't believe that that was a very smart idea to throw the switch there. And I can't fire it up at an idle. I'll try one more time, but I don't believe it's going to run at an idle. Okay, what I did was I threw the switch and turned the throttle up all the way at the same time. You saw what happened. It just lugged right down. It would have torn the engine apart, and then even if it ran, it would have been lousy fuel mileage. Okay, when I come back, I'm going to switch that 6-inch pulley out and go back to the 4-inch. Okay, back again. Now, I didn't go to the 4-inch pulley because I have a 3-inch pulley I hadn't used yet. And something tells me that this may be the perfect one. I haven't started it yet. I just installed the 3-inch pulley, and the PMA has a 2-inch pulley. So let's fire it up and see what happens now. That new noise in the engine, I believe, is just the key. I don't have it down tight. Notice there's no vibration. All right, folks, my curiosity got the better of me. I took the 3-inch pulley off the engine. I put the 4-inch pulley on the engine. It's the only thing I changed. It ran great with the 3-inch, but if I can get a few more RPMs and it runs just as great at an idle, puts out a little bit more voltage, that's probably where I want to be. Let's fire this up. I have a suspicion it's going to be what I want. Oh, I should say, that new sound is the PMA, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just that PMA with the extra epoxy and the extra magnets in there. Idling at 24 volts. Now it's lugging, but it's 14 knots. Right there at 15. Well, you folks tell me. We're going to do one more segment after dark, and we'll leave it all hooked up just like you see it. When I come back to do the segment after dark, the sun will be down, of course, so we won't be charging. And I'm going to turn on all my electric appliances to create a hell of a load to see what happens. So I'll see you at dark. Okay, everybody, I'm back. It's not dark, but the sun's down, and the power usually drops down to about 12.5, right around in there after the sun goes down. But what I've done is I've turned on our 1500 watt electric heater and also our 1500 watt toaster oven. So both of those are on, knocking the power down. I'm going to turn the switch on and see what we have. We have 11.9. Now that's not what's in the battery, but that's what the drain is causing, is 11.9. So let's start this thing up and see what it does. And I will take you off the tripod when we do that. But here, let's start it up first. All right, let's turn the fuse on, see what happens here. 14.1 out. It's 1100 RPM, and I'm pretty pleased with it. But you folks tell me what you think in the comments here. Now back at an idle, still with those two appliances on, we're putting out 13.5. I'll go turn those off and we'll see where we are, but I'll leave this running. Okay, well, I ran it at full RPMs, which is about 1,300 is maximum RPMs for the engine. We were getting 12.8, 12.9 in the main system with everything turned on. So that was not bad, but it was putting a tremendous strain on the belt. If I were to do this over again, I would go for serpentine belts because the belt was having a lot of trouble keeping up at full RPMs. Backed it down to an idle. We were putting out 12.4, and the thing would have run for 12 hours like that with the heater and the toaster oven on. Turn those off. It went up only to 12.5, but it was maintaining the system. So I think it's a pretty good match. I think we're going to leave it here for now. Hey, it's daylight again. What gives? And he changed hats. I'm just filming this earlier in the day before I do the nighttime scene. I've got the cue for me, and it turns out that I'm going to use the 1212. I like the way it runs a little bit better. But to be very honest with you, I just like the fact that he took the time to try to make me something that he thought I would like. And unless this was significantly different, I'm going to go with the thing that somebody put some love and care into for me special. Which brings me to another subject, Thermodyne. Now that was customer service, and I've not met the man face to face. I don't know him. I've bought products from him. I don't know. I've probably spent $5,000 with him. So I'm not a great customer, but I am a customer. And I got great customer service from him. And I recommend Thermodyne for that reason. I got great customer service. You'll get great customer service. I haven't run into anybody except his competitors that say his customer service is bad. So I have absolutely nothing bad to say about Thermodyne. Now I've got other people that I deal with that I feel the same way about. Coleman Air, where I buy my meters and that from. Duramax, ouch, there's a rock under my butt. Duramax, where I get these motors. And there's other people, I'm not thinking of them right now. Customer service is there, the product quality is there, go with it. In my case, with my wind turbines, and with these PMAs, I'll stick with Thermodyne. Now, the last time I said that was when I was talking about my wind turbines. And I think I did the video Thermodyne Rocks, which is on my personal channel, Singing Turkeys, not on this channel. And I still say that, Thermodyne Rocks. But when I said that, all Bob's competitors came out of the woodwork. And their children, and their grandchildren, and their employees all came out of the woodwork. They hit all kinds of thumbs down on my videos. And really, it was a circus, and they were like cockroaches running out of the walls. Don't do that now, folks. You do it. I'm just going to delete the comments, period. I'm just going to kill the comments. And the thumbs down, they'll tell the story again, and you'll just look like a fool again like you did the first time. But if somebody doesn't like the fact that I'm here saying Thermodyne's got great customer service, if you think your customer service is better, let me know. You're more than welcome to send me a PMA. I'll put it on this, give it a test, see what it's like. Do whatever you suggest I do with the belts and with the pulleys, and I'll give it a fair shake, just like I do everything else, because one free PMA, that doesn't buy me. Your PMA, it's not going to buy me. Besides, I'm going to box it up and send it back to you after I do the test. But no, don't do that foolishness. You're only making yourself look bad when you sit here and try to make Thermodyne look horrible. And I hope all your dreams come true, like mine have. And to each and every one of you, make every day Thanksgiving Day and be grateful for what you have, not jealous of the things you don't have. Take care, guys. See you with the next project.